Welcome back again, everyone. It's challenge time. And this challenge is for the Essentialism Masterclass with our expert guide, Greg McKeown. Our inspiration for this masterclass is Greg's book, Essentialism, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less. So Greg, one of the things we do around here is at the end of each masterclass, I request our expert guides to issue a small, teeny tiny challenge for all of us that we must try out on the exact same day that we watch the masterclass. And the idea here is that we don't want to all these masterclasses to go in one ear and come out the other. We want to actually start putting things into action. Do you have a challenge for us?
Yes, I do. And it's simply this: to get rid of one tiny small thing now, right now. It could be, and I don't mean metaphorically, I mean literally, a physical item that's of low value to you. Go into your closet, choose one thing that you've thought of 5 times, 10 times, oh, I should get rid of it, and do. Pass it on, eliminate it, get rid of it. One thing. And just experience the freedom that comes in that moment. And then see where it takes you. You might find that you do it once and you might want to do it again. You might get into a mode of it and start to remove these things. And in the process, I hope that people will return back to this thinking of, well, what if I just did this, not just of this one item and not just of something in my closet or on my desk, but what if I kept going and started to remove other unnecessary things from my life, from my digital. It could be something you could delete one app from your phone. Just stop any notifications on your phone. I mean, if this is all about any of these above is fine. You could uncommit from one thing on your calendar. You just discard one thing that's less important from your life right now.
All right, everyone, we have our challenge. So one of the things I do is I have a box in our house. So the idea is every time before we buy something new, we have to put something in that. So
yeah, do you do that? It's easiest to do you do it? It's easier to say that than to do it.
No, we do that. So we have a box, and once that box fills up, I start another box, another bag. So we have one thing that is always starting to fill up when that fills up. And the thing that keeps me motivated is our maid, the one who comes to help me clean the house. She's a very staunch churchgoer, and she told me once that if you have something that you don't need, give it to me, I'll take it to my church. So my goal is that every time she comes, I mean, we don't have a fixed schedule. She comes at odd times when I need help. But my goal is every time she comes, I need to have a few boxes to give her. So that kind of helps me. Like we talked earlier about how important it is to routinize this, to not make this feel hard, right? So when you mentioned that one thing, I'm like, that's such a good challenge, because if it could just get into a habit, and then it just becomes a part of your life. And decluttering is just a part of your life. It's not something you have to think, or you have to go through a clutter of like 20 items trying to figure out which one to give away, right? It's just happening on an ongoing basis.
That's right.
So everyone, you have your challenge. Eliminate one thing from your life right now. It may be a thing, it may be a digital thing on your phone, an app or something, or it can be a commitment or anything that you can just strip down just to get a taste for this. All right, so Greg, if any of our viewers want to connect with you outside this conference, where can they find you? Can you tell us about your website, any social media channels? I'm guessing you've stripped down quite a bit on the social media, right? So which ones are you active on?
Yeah, I think that what I would say is gregmckeown.com. So it's GregMcKeown.com. People can sign up for a free newsletter there. And when I send those out, those are really essentialist in nature. They're practical, actionable, and I think that could be helpful in the ongoing conversation. LinkedIn is probably the social media I'm most active on, so you can follow me on there. And then if people want to take the first online class that I've ever created is just launched actually. And it's on Skillshare, and it's called Simple Productivity. Simple Productivity.
So do you have a segment in there for parents, or is this more as a general approach to life?
It's more generalized, so it's not specific for parenting. This is yet to come.
So we start with that course to start simplifying, and hopefully in the future you'll have a course specifically for parents.
I hope so.
All right. So another thing I wanted to ask you about is you give keynote talks spreading this message of essentialism, right? So if any of our viewers want to bring you in to their workplace, or we have a lot of school administrators, so if they want to bring you into their schools, how can they find out more information about that?
Yeah, the best way to do that is also through the website, greggmckeown.com, and just the contact page, and someone on my team will get back to you. I just spoke at, I've spoken at many school events, and one was recently for a whole state. There's a state, I think it was Colorado, yes. And so these were for the administrators of all of the school districts for the entire state. In fact, I didn't know this going into it, but the speaker right after me was the governor of Colorado. So it really was all like the entire leadership for the school districts, and I thought that was terrific that they were investing in that way and seeing how essentialism could be relevant to education.
Perfect. I hope. I don't know if this is in your roadmap, in your priority list, and I don't want to ask you for it, but I hope you explore the option of writing a book specifically for how we can teach this to our kids, because you have some unique experiences out there, which I haven't heard from a lot of other people, right? So if you could kind of write a book about that, I think that would be something that's a lot appreciated in our community.
Here's something that I've genuinely been talking about. My wife, Anna, has been with me on this journey for 20 years, and has been my co-creative person on every aspect of it, long before it had a name, any of that, and then of course living it. And I've been encouraging Anna to write a book on this, and we even have a working title, but I won't share that now. But I think that she has been the one that's that has been in this work of implementing it, and in fact is currently working on something else where the treatment for a possible TV show that I think could be very funny and interesting. But she's the creative thrust of that work there. But maybe this is to come.
Yay! I hope have her come and talk to us about it at one of the future conferences.
Seems like a fun idea. Let's explore making that happen.
We should. I'll stay in touch with you. So everyone, you know how to connect with Gregg right now. Be sure to connect outside this conference, because there's tons. I get his newsletters regularly, and it's so packed. It's so helpful to get these reminders to stay on the path, right? So be sure to sign up for that newsletter. So Gregg, on behalf of everyone in our community, thank you so much for doing this with us.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
So everyone else, you know the drill by now. 2 things. First, take a moment to think of the 2-3 things that popped out for you. That's huge perspective shifts.